fun episode brought to you by ldhadvising.com. L as in Lord, D as in Donovan, H as in Hilton, advising.com. Of course, we always want to respectfully make sure that things from an urban perspective is brought to our attention. And this may be a story we followed before. Um, excuse me. This may be a story we followed before. I know we've been following the Sudanese story, but respectfully, this is a story that I definitely wanted to make sure that was brought to our attention for reasons we may or may not understand, or opportunities for peace, unification, or what that looks like in regards to what we're about to cover. So I want to shout out Al Jazeera, respectfully a growing source I'm starting to dabble into more. I'm starting to get into more international publications. Al Jazeera, I want to shout them out, and we'll jump into it. UN evacuation in Haiti. Police assault, stronghold of gang leader barbecue. Insecurity in Haiti is rising again, forcing embassies and United Nations agencies to evacuate the capital amid gang-fueled violence. Commercial break, me please. Shout out to Joe T. Baker III. Check out his website, jtb numerical number 3.org. Has a great story when it comes to perseverance and the work he's been able to do through grace in regards to his story. So check him, my friend, out. And because he does say commercial break me in the great stories that he tells. And so in this case, the first thing I think of when I look at the subheading, insecurity in Haiti is rising again, forcing embassies and United Nations agencies to evacuate the capital amid gang-fueled violence. Respectfully, of course, everything is life, environment, well-being. That goes first and foremost. Of course, in conjunction with that, I also think of like free markets or certain social economic situations. And when you look at things like insecurity rising again, forcing embassies and United Nations agencies to evacuate the capital, the capital being your district where a lot of your revenue is generated, planned, and foreseen. It just makes it hard for investments. And when you look at respectfully nations or areas or districts that need investments to begin to create production, respectfully, security is something that people want to invest in. And when you look at even in an investment terminology, you have securities, if you will. So, security, certainty, legitimacy, these are things that people invest in. And by reading the heading and subheading, one of the first things that come to my mind, uh, and after the well-being and wishes of everyone and the environment in that area is um, that socioeconomic challenge for investment. Here we go. The United Nations has ordered the evacuation of its staff from Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, as clashes between armed gangs, the police, and civilians' arms with machetes intensified in recent days. Read that one more time. The United Nations has ordered the evacuation of its staff from Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, as clashes between armed gangs, the police, and civilians armed with machetes intensified in recent days. I'm going to leave my thoughts where they are on that. A UN helicopter on Monday ferried evacuees, 14 at a time, from the capital to the northern city of Cap Haitian, with some scheduled to take flights out of the country. This comes after the main international airport in Port-au-Prince was closed due to commercial flights being hit by gunfire while landing and taking off earlier this month. So it's just not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. And of course, my heart and prayers go out to everyone who experience. Respectfully. The airlift also includes foreign embassies and other relief agencies, diplomatic and security sources told Al Jazeera. A United States Air Force C-130 aircraft landed in the capital Port-au-Prince's airport on Sunday to transport American diplomats who were ordered to leave the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. Southern Command said. Most foreign embassies are now effectively closed, with staffing limited to a handful of senior officials and security details. Commercial break me, please. It's not good, obviously. Not only is your capital, if you will, unsecure, but now your foreign allies, partners, investors, have to close. And respectfully and hopefully, I'm sure things will open back up. But these are the challenges that, if possible, should be limited, if you will. I'm not, but again, it's just a conversation that I know I want to have because this is something that's a current event that is happening. It may not get as much coverage, and I feel like this type of information needs to go out to see what kind of resources are available to bring security. And I'm going to have to do more research to find out where the insecurity was created and how far this goes back. Everyone may have their idea, but if anyone has any links to give me a better understanding of the origin of this situation, please put in the comments for us to check out, or you can send a message as well, and we hopefully can pull it up if it's any form of legitimacy, if you will. Disclaimer: unfortunately, I will not intentionally review Wikipedia publications. And that's another story for another time. If you want to hear the story, put in the comments Wikipedia story. And I was on a radio show monthly, and that was Wikipedia was one of my sources, and that was a great experience for me to go through and talk about live on air, as I want to provide factual information respectfully. Back to the story, or back to the article. In a statement, the UN said it was adapting its operations, with some staff moving to safer parts of the country and others leaving Haiti but continuing to work remotely. The United Nations is not leaving Haiti. Our commitment to the Haitian people remains unwavering, Stephanie Durrich, the spokesperson for the UN Secretary General, said in a statement. Now, commercial break me, please. I know the United Nations, especially when it comes to the urban areas, countries, African diaspora countries are African diaspora, countries that I've been covering. They, from what I can see, are on the scene, so I'm assuming they're busy. Would love to get more insight and just, I guess, more research on the United Nations and what that looks like, because they have been playing a huge role. And I'm assuming if they are providing aid, they've been working hard throughout the continent, and I just want to recognize them again in the middle of a lot of this conversation, like we speak on a lot of other articles when they're African diaspora countries, other ones. Moving on. We are temporarily reducing our footprint in the capital, he added. The critical humanitarian programs in Port-au-Prince, as well as support for the Haitian people and authorities, continue. Doctors Without Borders, known by its French initials MSF, also announced late last week that it was suspending critical care in Port-au-Prince as it accused police of targeting its staff and patients, including threats of rape and death. Yeah, and it's just and respectfully, with all the uncertainty, it just makes it hard for businesses. I'm not sure. I gotta do more research on Doctors with Borders or these. It just makes it hard, and law enforcement's occupied, and all everybody's just busy doing a lot of things, trying to keep order, and it just makes it hard for the whole situation. Moving on. Every day that we cannot resume activities is a tragedy, as we are one of the few providers of a wide range of medical services that have remained open during this extremely difficult year, said Christopher Gardner, MSF Mission Director in Haiti. That's a really great point. And I want to, I don't know the details, but anyone looking to provide aid, definitely want to, send out our love and grace and gratitude and humility and protection during that process of everyone involved, because medical services is essential in so many ways, and it makes it that much more difficult when you don't have the necessary medical services, and you're one of the few that are open for the year in an area where there's already a lack of resources. And so, just want to recognize that again. Moving on to the article, Food for the Poor, which runs feeding programs in Haiti, said it was no longer able to make regular food deliveries because of gang disruptions, noting the closure of the airport and gang blockades that make access to the main seaports extremely hazardous. Oh yeah, it's hard to move around. It's hard to move around. While the police has made While the police had made good efforts to respond to gang advances, FFTP, which is Food for the Poor, Haiti director Mario Nicolou said he worried about the access to fuel for food trucks. There are still lines for fuel at the gas station, but this seems to be getting better. There are still lots of shooting in several areas every day, and people are still pushed out of neighborhoods, he added. Wow. Wow. So the Kenyan police officer walks in front of an armored personnel carrier during a joint operation with Haitian police in Port-au-Prince and back in July. Major operations gang, major operations against gangs. A 430 strong UN backed security mission comprised mostly of Kenyan police, which was sent in June to support Haiti's understaffed police department, defended its role in the face of public criticism of its handling of the current security situation amid an apparent surge in gang activities. In a message on Sunday on X, the multinational security support mission to Haiti, MSS, said major operations were underway, and a gang stronghold in the Delmas area of the capital, controlled by a notorious gang leader and former policeman, Jimmy Barbecue Shirizer. The gang leader later appeared on social media to say he had crushed the police attack and remained at large. And there's your post. Lionel Lazare, deputy spokesman for Haiti's National Police, did not return messages for comments. The UN estimates that at least 220 people, including 115 gang members, were killed in more than a dozen coordinated attacks between November 11th and 19th that were aimed at forcing the government to resign, according to the confidential UN situation report obtained by Al Jazeera. More than 4,500 people were reported killed in Haiti so far this year, the UN says. An estimated 41,000 people were forced to flee their homes in the last 2 weeks alone, according to the International Organization for Migration, the IOM. There are overall more than 700,000 people displaced in Haiti due to the conflict, the International Organization for Migration says. And this is one of the commercial break me please. This is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to, bring this article to the table. Overall, more than 700,000 people displaced in Haiti due to the conflict. Now, respectfully, as I think of that, I don't know the details, but I believe people from Haiti have been heading toward the United States of America. And I wonder, you know, how many people are really trying to leave due to the situation, right, wrong, or indifferent. Back to the article. The scale of this displacement is unprecedented in Haiti, aid in a statement. Children recruited. An unprecedented number of children having been recruited by gangs in Haiti, the UN Children's Fund said on Monday, underscoring a worsening protection crisis in the violence-ridden Caribbean island. Hearts and prayers, and easier said than done, go out, to the children and families I think of the movie Blood. The Blood Diamond? No, it was another movie, and they had the two young men, and they had they were in a they were in a tribe, and the gangs kind of came through their tribe, killing a lot of the people, and recruiting and taking a lot of the boys, and it was just an experience that you know hearts and prayers go out to. Back to the article. In a report, UNICEF said the recruitment of minors increased by 70% last year. Uncertain future. The Haitian government, backed by the U.S. and by other Caribbean nations, is calling for the UN Security Council to authorize a full scale peacekeeping operation to be sent to Haiti. They argue that the Kenyan led MSS lacks equipment and numbers to make a difference and remains far below the 2,500 personnel originally envisioned for the mission. This is not just another wave of insecurity, it is a dramatic escalation that shows no signs of abating. Miroslav Chinka, UN Assistant Secretary General for Europe, Central Asia, and the Americas, said last week at a UN Security Council meeting to discuss the peacekeeping proposal. But Russia and China oppose a UN peacekeeping mission, accusing the US, of not listening to Haitian civil society and saying efforts should be focused on strengthening the Haitian police. I'm going to read that one more time. But Russia and China oppose a UN peacekeeping mission, accusing the US of not listening to Haitian civil society and saying efforts should be focused on strengthening the Haitian police. Now, I really want to bring this point up real quick, respectfully, and I believe this was in some of my previous conversations, especially when we're following, respectfully, world superpowers. But Russia and China are actually opposing the United Nations peacekeeping mission, which is supported by the United States, accusing the U.S. of not listening to Haitian civil society and saying efforts should be focused on strengthening the Haitian police. I'm curious to see respectfully what the Haitian society is saying about this. Do they feel like, hey, Russia and China may have a point? Or is there other situations? But I do feel like desperate times call for desperate measures. And again, we talked about the strategic positioning of what Russia and China is doing, respectfully, what the United States are doing. These are some of the power players that may or may not influence directly or indirectly some of the African diaspora experiences. Especially even being in the middle of it for aid or looking to provide perspective on solutions. And so that's another conversation, but I don't want to dismiss that. Those can review it. And if nothing else, I wanted to make sure that Haiti's and their current events are being covered. And if there's anyone listening that can provide any kind of insight, access, or resource to help, ease and eliminate the challenges in Haiti, both obviously socially as well as economically, this was what this article that I read was designed to do. So let me know your thoughts. What did you take away from this article? What questions do you have for me that we could jump into more? What information do you have that can support what we went through, and we can jump into in more detail? There should be a button there to like, follow, subscribe, and share this information in this article with your friends. Thank you for clicking some of those donation buttons and donating what you felt this message was worth to you. And I look forward to connecting with you again on the next video. Peace.